This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
There's a game that you probably haven't thought much about since elementary or high school. It's the gymnasium staple of dodgeball. Well, that school-time game is very big on the world stage. In fact, the World Dodgeball Championships will be taking place in Graz, Austria this coming August, and Canada has a team that is going. On the team are Xaysana Phavone, who is also known as Jack, and his younger sister Melissa Phavone. They are joining us via Zoom from Edmonton. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Pierre, how's it going?
Just tickety-boo. Thanks very much for taking the time to be on the program with us. Now, I saw a feature that was done on the CTV News about you two guys and the sport of dodgeball, and I must confess I was not aware that there is a world championship and there's leagues involved in countries around the world. So how did you guys get into this?
Well, you're probably with the majority of people that don't know that this is a thing. So it very much started with us not knowing before that there was actually leagues. So basically, we started with just rec leagues in our own city that we heard about. The first time I heard about dodgeball being a league, I got very excited about it. And I joined up a league. I played with some rec teams. We eventually got to some competitive teams. And then that's when I kind of reached out to my sister about a tournament that we needed girls on. And that's when she kind of got hooked.
And Melissa, you're younger than your brother, right? So, and how did you get into it besides the fact that he kind of urged you into joining?
Yeah, he basically, I've always been athletic and competitive. So I think maybe that was a big reason why he reached out to me, and they're always looking for women. So though I was at the time one of the younger players, this sport is still the same, learning the strategies. And honestly, players who are more experienced are always going to be better than young athletes. So yeah, I kind of got hooked like that. And it was just fun playing with my brother and his friends. And I just kind of made my own friends along the way.
Now, when did you get wind of the idea that it was bigger than, just the local groups or local clubs or even regional clubs to the point where you could be on Team Canada? When did that dream start to solidify?
Well, my first exposure to something outside of the city was in 2016 when one of our friends, his name was Chris Berry, he made it onto Team Canada via just a video footage. It was very small at that time. And actually 2016 was when they hosted the first kind of national tournament in Canada with all the provinces going to Toronto to play in the nationals against other provinces. So that was kind of my first exposure to knowing that dodgeball was bigger than just a rec league in the city. So they hosted tryouts in Edmonton to make the provincial team of Alberta to go play against other provinces. And I was able to make that team. And from that point on, I was basically hooked on the idea that there was more and more competitive dodgeball out there. And I kept trying to make the Team Canada since 2016. And yeah, that's when that was my first exposure to it.
And Melissa, your journey toward the national team?
Yeah, just obviously based off Jack, my older brother, bringing me into it. And then because there are women's teams and men's teams, I kind of went towards the women's team, and Edmonton had a women's team. So I made it onto that team. We've gone to nationals the last couple of years. And then it wasn't until, I knew of Team Canada because Jack made it onto the squad last 2 years ago or a year ago. And then he kind of talked me into trying out this year, and I just happened to make it as well. So that's kind of been my journey. And I feel like it's only just starting because we still have training camps and tournaments and whatnot before Worlds next year.
Okay, so there are men's teams and there are women's teams. Are there any mixed teams?
Yes.
There is a mixed team as well.
Okay. And
Which we both
Sorry, go ahead.
Got asked to be on that team, but we both decided to just play men's and women's separately.
And is there a particular reason as to why you decided that route as opposed to the mixed team?
Mel, you want to go first?
It would have been fun playing with Jack, but I think we've kind of been on this journey on our own for a long time now that we wanted to see how well we could kind of succeed on our own in those divisions.
I'm sure, and I spoke to Jack a little bit before we started here, and one of the things I brought up is, there are two groups of the general population that don't know anything about dodgeball except the fact that it was either a fun game they played when they were in school, or it was a game where bullies seem to really proliferate, and so they have either great memories or bad memories of dodgeball. And I guess one of the things, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you guys is because it's not the bullying game that we all knew when we were in school. It's much more than that, correct?
No, it very much isn't so much bullying. It's really nowadays an outlet for people that want to take out some frustration, but it's also a great cardio sport because you're moving your body in so many different ways. And most people that first get into the game, they don't realize how sore they are after the first couple of games because they're using parts of their body that they just probably haven't used in a while.
And I also think it's like the sport itself has become such a community that you're not playing against people you don't know. We're playing against our friends and people we have known over the years. So I think that's the most fun is you're playing with your team who, yes, and our friends, but in our league, we know everybody. So, and we play tournaments and we hang out outside of dodgeball. So that's also something that I think brings people in and keeps them. And then also, people just like the exercise as well. But I totally forgot about the kind of bullying aspect, back in the day.
Right.
So that's a good thing that you brought up.
And I mean, one of the biggest things that when we first mentioned dodgeball, most people think about the movie Dodgeball, which is obviously a parody of dodgeball. But yeah, and it shows the aspects of bullying in that movie. But Dodgeball, the movie, is one of the biggest things that has brought light to dodgeball being like a sport. So as much as we hate the idea that it's a parody of the sport, it's something that's helped grow dodgeball in its entirety.
Well, I think you two are definitely helping dodgeball grow, especially considering there's a Team Canada, and we're going on an international stage with the Dodgeball Championships that are taking place in Austria in August. Now, have you guys done any play or any team play on an international level? And are there any powerhouses out there that are of concern to you? Is there any country out there that you'd like to knock off?
So first off, I just want to mention that in the aspect of dodgeball internationally, there's two different types of ball formats. So North America is known for playing like a foam ball. It's a 7-inch foam ball. It's soft. It's very light. And then a lot of times in Europe, they play with a cloth ball, which is a 7-inch rubber ball covered with a cloth material. So both Melissa and I are playing cloth, which is new to North America. And essentially, Canada, in both aspects of dodgeball, were very strong in the foam format, or fairly new in the cloth format, but we did place very well in the last World Tournament. For men's, the women's and mixed did okay as well, but it is a new sport for us, so we're still growing in that cloth format. So Canada, the US in foam, Canada, US, Malaysia, those countries are essentially some of the top countries, Australia. In cloth, it's very much dominated by the UK. So basically, England, Australia as well is done well in it as well. Malaysia has some strong teams as well. So I just wanted to point that out because at the last World Tournament, there was 6 different formats in the World Tournament. So there was men's, women's, and mixed in both cloth and foam.
How well has Canada done in the past?
Canada for foam, we have various gold, silver, and bronze medals. So we've been a staple in the foam format.
The women's and the mixed foam got first. They got gold,
yep.
And then the men's got
bronze and foam.
Yes.
And then in cloth, we didn't place in mixed and women's, but we got 4th in the men's cloth.
Men's.
So, final question: how excited are you? And I'm sure you're very excited. But how excited are you in going to the World Dodgeball Championships in Austria in August?
Very excited. I mean, there's still some work to do. We both have training camps where we have to kind of finalize. They have to finalize the rosters. So on my squad, there's 20 people, and they can only activate 12 people to go to the World Tournament. I think, Melissa, how many players do you have on your team?
We have 22 women on our squad, and once again, only 12 get activated to get chosen to go to Austria. until we know for sure, we're still, like Jack said, we still have to work hard. We're still, kind of training and kind of semi trying out for those 12 spots. And until we know for sure we're going to Austria, and I hope that both of us are going, that's when I'll be like super, super excited and yeah, super
Yeah.
happy to actually
So
go on the world stage and represent Canada.
yeah, so the last world tournament, I made the roster, but I didn't get activated to play at the world tournament. So obviously it's very exciting to be on the roster, but until you get activated, that's where the real excitement kind of like kicks in, you know?
Mhm.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that everything works out and you guys both make it on the team in the World Dodgeball Championships that takes place in Austria in August. How can one get more information? I understand people can go to the website, which is dodgeballcanada.org. But is there much publicity? Is there some place where this will be shown, even if it's online? How can Canadians follow along the path that the team is taking, that Team Canada is taking?
Yeah, Dodgeball Canada, and there's also the World Dodgeball Federation. They both have Instagram, Facebook, and their own websites, I believe, that they'll probably keep track of all that. Obviously, Dodgeball Canada will keep track of mostly Canada, but for some of the international tournaments that they've been playing recently have also been on there. And the World Dodgeball Federation will have things from all different countries. And there it really is a lot. They're doing such a great job because it is coming from all the different countries, which there's presidents in all of them that are working together to post those things. So they're doing such a great job. And I know it's a lot. So yeah, people can kind of go on their social medias there.
One of the biggest things about people being able to watch Twitch TV has done a really great job at basically promoting and filming a lot of our dodgeball events. So there is lots of accessible YouTube videos and Twitch videos online that they can check out and see what the tournament's like all about before the tournament happens.
Great. Well, congratulations to the two of you. And again, keep our fingers crossed for not only you being on Team Canada, but Team Canada having some great success when they go to Austria. Thank you very much, guys, for being on the program with us.
Thank you so much for reaching out to us. We appreciate it, Peter.
Yes, we appreciate it so much.
Xaysana Phavone and his sister Melissa Phavone, who are hoping to go to Graz, Austria for the World Dodgeball Championships as part of Team Canada. You can go to my website at thestuffile.com to the page for this show, which is show number 0752, and you'll find links to the Team Canada site.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestuffile.com. Stuff is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestuffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.